The rain began just after sunset, turning the lonely road into a ribbon of mud and darkness. Every flash of lightning illuminated the abandoned Ashcroft Manor for only a second before swallowing it back into the night. Its broken windows looked like hollow eyes staring into the storm. Daniel Carter pulled his car to a stop at the rusted gate. He was a paranormal investigator with over 1 million subscribers online. Ghosts, haunted houses, cursed forests, he had explored them all. Every haunting had eventually been explained by old wiring, hidden passages, or frightened imaginations. Tonight, he intended to prove that Ashcroft Manor was no different. According to local legend, anyone who spent a night inside the manor's 13th room either disappeared forever or returned completely insane. Daniel smiled as he adjusted the camera strapped to his chest. Let's bust another ghost story. An elderly caretaker appeared from a small shack beside the gate. You shouldn't go inside, the old man warned quietly. Daniel laughed. I've heard that before. The caretaker's expression never changed. No, you haven't. Without another word, he handed Daniel a small brass key. If you hear knocking after midnight, he whispered, don't answer it. Daniel thanked him and walked toward the mansion. The enormous wooden door groaned open before he even touched it. His flashlight swept across layers of dust, covering antique furniture. Torn paintings hung crooked on cracked walls. Every step echoed through endless hallways. The silence felt unnatural, not peaceful. Watching. After several minutes, he found a staircase leading to the second floor. At the very end of the hallway stood a faded wooden door. A tarnished metal plate read, Room 13. The brass key fit perfectly. The lock clicked. The room was surprisingly clean. A wooden bed stood against one wall, an old rocking chair faced the window, a cracked mirror leaned beside a fireplace. Everything else in the mansion was buried beneath decades of dust. This room looked recently occupied. Daniel set up 3 cameras in different corners. He checked the batteries. 100%. He smiled into the lens. If anything happens tonight, you'll see it with me. Hours passed. Nothing. 11:30 p.m. Silence. 11:59 p.m. The rocking chair moved just once, then stopped. Daniel immediately inspected it. No strings, no wind, nothing. He returned to the center of the room. Midnight. Knock, knock, knock. 3 slow knocks echoed from the door. Daniel remembered the caretaker's warning. He ignored them. Another 3 knocks, louder. Then a child's voice. Please, I'm cold. Daniel frowned. Someone had to be playing a prank. He opened the door. The hallway was empty. No footsteps, no sound. Only darkness stretching endlessly in both directions. When he closed the door again, something was different. The mirror. His reflection was gone. He stood directly in front of it. The room reflected perfectly. The bed, the chair, the fireplace, everything except him. A cold chill crawled up his spine. Then, slowly, a little girl appeared inside the mirror. She wore a white dress stained with mud. Long black hair covered most of her face. She wasn't behind him. She existed only inside the glass. Daniel spun around. Nothing. When he looked back, she had moved closer. Her head tilted unnaturally. Crack. A thin fracture spread across the mirror. Then another. Then dozens. The girl's smile widened until it stretched far beyond what any human face should allow. Her lips split. Dark liquid dripped from her teeth. She whispered, "You opened the door." Every camera shut off at once. The room plunged into darkness. Daniel grabbed his flashlight. Dead. His phone. Dead. Every electronic device had lost power simultaneously. Something breathed behind him, slow, heavy, cold. He turned. Nothing. The breathing continued, now directly beside his ear. "You shouldn't have answered." Daniel stumbled backward. The rocking chair began moving violently, back and forth, faster, faster. Then it stopped. A woman was sitting in it. She hadn't been there a second earlier. Her skin was pale gray. Her eyes were completely black. She held the hand of the little girl from the mirror. Neither of them blinked. Neither moved. They simply stared. Daniel forced himself to speak. "What do you want?" The woman smiled. "We've been waiting." The floor shook. The wallpaper peeled away on its own. Behind it were hundreds of names carved into the walls. Every name had a date beside it. The final name wasn't carved. It was still being scratched into the wall by an invisible hand. D-A-N-I-E-L. He screamed and ran toward the door. It wouldn't open. He pulled harder. Nothing. The temperature dropped so quickly that his breath turned white. Whispers filled the room. Hundreds of voices speaking at once. "Stay. Don't leave. Join us." The walls began to bleed. Dark red liquid poured from every crack. The smell of iron filled the air. He looked up. The ceiling was covered with people, not standing, crawling, upside down. Dozens of pale figures slowly moved across the ceiling like spiders, their necks twisted completely backward. Their empty eyes never looked him. One by one, they dropped to the floor. None of them made a sound when they landed. They simply surrounded him. The little girl stepped forward. "I was the first." The woman followed. "I was the last." Then every figure spoke together. "And now, it's your turn." Daniel shut his eyes and charged blindly through the crowd. He expected cold hands to grab him. Instead, he crashed through the bedroom door. Sunlight blinded him. Birds were singing. The storm was gone. He found himself lying on the front lawn of Ashcroft Manor. Police officers stood nearby. Paramedics rushed toward him. One officer asked, "Can you hear me?" Daniel nodded weakly. "What happened?" The officer exchanged nervous glances with another policeman. "You've been missing." Daniel frowned. "I went inside last night." The officer swallowed. "No, you disappeared 7 years ago." Daniel laughed. It had to be a joke. But then he noticed the date on the ambulance. 7 years had passed. His hands looked older. His beard was streaked with gray. His phone had turned to dust. The cameras were rusted beyond recognition. Everything he had carried had aged with him. Everything except one object, the brass key. It still looked brand new. The caretaker was nowhere to be found. Locals later claimed no caretaker had lived there for over 30 years. The manor was demolished a month later. Workers reported hearing children laughing beneath the foundations before the building collapsed. Nothing was found underneath. No bones, no hidden rooms, no explanation. Daniel never recovered. He refused to sleep in rooms with mirrors. He kept every door in his house locked, even during the day. Every night at exactly midnight, 3 slow knocks echoed from somewhere inside his home. He never answered. One winter evening, his neighbor noticed Daniel's front door standing open. The lights were on. The television was playing static. His dinner was still warm on the table. Daniel was gone. Police searched the house from top to bottom. There were no signs of forced entry, no fingerprints except his own, no footprints in the fresh snow outside. Only one thing was discovered. On the bedroom wall, scratched deep into the paint, were 6 chilling words. The 13th room never lets anyone leave.